Okay, so I'm about to do something very stupid. Oh, and good morning. I'm gonna talk about Israel. Please don't kill me. Or Palestine. So the first message was that Israel, hey, please don't kill me. The second message was that the United States population, or at least the people who were leaning towards Palestine. My first thought was, I should list the sins of Israel and Palestine, and then line them up next to each other. What pisses me off is like, Palestinians want to kill the people of Israel, right? Israel wants to kill the people of Palestine, right? Like, this isn't a one-sided war. It's one-sided because one side has a lot more weapons, but in terms of intent, I don't really see a difference. They're both saying, hey, this land is holy. Give it to me, or I'll f*** you up. Like, that is not differing on either side. Can we agree to that? Like, is that not fundamentally true? Okay, well, we're gonna start asking ChatGPT a few questions and we'll kind of evolve from there. This is gonna be provocative, so if you don't like me, cool. You're probably not like me anymore. I'm just trying to fucking understand it, because I've just been fed a bunch of propaganda saying, oh, Palestine's good, Israel's bad. But I know for a fact, Palestine kills their gay people. I know for a fact, Israel normally doesn't. Like, morally speaking, in terms of the Western world, Palestine does not align with us at all. I'm not saying deserve death in any way, shape, or form, but I'm also saying that I don't know, these piss me off because, like, can we agree there's more nuance than people give it credit for? Moving on. 23 President Gaza war, because there's been a few. Here's some recent figures. As of mid-2020, the question I asked was, what is the death toll of Israel versus Palestine, and what is the death toll of Palestine versus Israel? As of mid-2025, Gaza's health ministry reports that over 60,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli military operations in Gaza. So this was recent. So over 60,000 is a safe bet. Israel versus Palestine. What the f***? I gotta read that again. Okay. And keep in mind, like, this one makes me mad too. People are like, citing statistics like the fog of war isn't a thing. Like, people don't lie about numbers to rally support. If I had 100 people and the enemy killed 10, and then I report to the world stage, hey, they killed half of us, please help us, why wouldn't I do that? No one's checking. It's a smart thing to do. I can rationalize it by, if I don't do it, my people will die. Just that times 50 different chances of that occurring. You're telling me you don't think some of these fuckers lie? You're naive and dumb. Okay, so it seems like Israel versus Palestine is 1,000 to 2,000 killed. This concludes Hamas conflict and ongoing conflict. In the wider long-term conflict, some sources lift cumulative fatalities through 2025 of 1,400 and 7,000, 1,000. So it is like 1 to 10. Israel is winning by a lot, which makes sense. They have more firepower. Once again, that doesn't mean they're wrong. If you come at me, I have a Glock. You come at me with a knife, and I shoot you upside the head. Is that my fault that you tried to attack me with an inferior weapon and I ended the conflict? No, that is your damn fault for trying to attack me. So that is my first initial thought when I think about the whole conflict, but then there's a much broader discussion because Israel didn't exist. We introduced it. Give me a timeline of Israel in that part of the world. Give me the timeline of Israel. Be brief. And go back 3,000 years. Obviously, they haven't existed for 3,000 years, but it was about. Actually, wait, I'm not sure. Okay, ancient biblical era. Kingdom of Israel and Judah formed under kings like David and Solomon. Ooh, tangent. Anything that AI is established to be the norm will be the norm. Because people won't go to other sources. People won't go to books for data anymore. Like I'm seeing BCE, which was not a thing before Common Era. It used to be BC, literally 10 years ago. But I think what's gonna happen is people are just gonna accept these structures that AI imparts onto data, which is very powerful in terms of controlling populations and influencing public opinion. Like if you like not only that, but also like data. If you can hide data, or just say some data is not credible, some is. We're getting detached from the sources of our information. That is a horrible thing. Moving on. 722, Assyrians conquer, Babylonians destroy the first temple. Roman and Byzantine, Romans take control. Jewish diaspora expands. Okay, wait, let me expand on how Israel first began. Also, it's wild that the Bible said that these motherfuckers would be fighting for millennia, and they are. Okay, so the Bible describes an early Israelite tribe settling in Canaan, Israel-Palestine today, after the Exodus, after being enslaved, they go to Israel and Palestine. This has interested me for a long time. Like, how did this whole thing start, and how did we get to the modern day? Historically, scholars use Jews formed a loose tribal confederation around 10,000 BCE. They shared a language and a religion, but weren't yet centralized state. Tradition, they became first when they first had kings, and they became a united nation. Who lived in Canaan before the Israelites? So my question is Canaan land. That's where modern Palestine and Israel is. Did they kill somebody to take over that land? Or push them out? Which is ironic that any American has any like hard stance on this, considering the shit these settlers did to the Indians or Native Americans or whatever. You know what I mean. And obviously I don't give a fuck about disrespecting them. I'm not trying to disrespect or respect them. Like, do you get my point? Like, I don't give a fuck. Why are you saying I do? Canaanites were a collection of city-states, people seeking not to... Okay, so who were the Palestinians in ancient times? Like, where did the Palestinians come from? First one. Philistines was an old term. Okay, let me read it verbatim. The name Palestine, the term comes from Philistia, land of the Philistines, a seafaring people from the Aegean region, part of the sea people who settled on the southern coast of Canaan around 1200 BCE. Cities like Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ashdod. Later the Romans, after crushing the Jewish revolts, CE, renamed the province Syria, Palestina to weaken Jewish ties to the land. That's where Palestine comes from. So there was a group of people named Philistines. Time passes. Um, then Romans basically co-opt the name, and Palestina, Syria, Palestina, is what they call the Jewish land, the province where the Jewish people were at. People of ancient Palestine, Canaanites, indigenous Semitic people lived in the region before Israel or Judah formed. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual answer. In antiquity, there were no Palestinians as an ethnic group in the modern sense. The land hosted Canaanites, Philistines, Israelites, and others, all part of the Levantine mosaic, which is, I think, just means a group of people, a group of varied people. Over centuries of conquest, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, and Ottomans, the populations mixed heavily. So from these group of people, we get one people, like how Mexicans intertwined with our conquerors, essentially. The natives intertwined with the white people who conquered us, the Spaniards. The natives of Mexico intertwined with the Spaniards to create a new people. That's basically what happened with them, but with more groups of people. Modern Palestinians are descended from many of these ancient peoples, especially the Arabs who arrived in the 7th century CE, but also the older Semitic and local populations. So, who was there first? The Arabs, 7th century, or Israelites? Because keep in mind, Israelites were part of this melting pot, but then they're like, we're special, you guys. Our conquests. Okay, so this is my understanding. Feel free to correct me. Once again, this is AI. I don't trust it 100%. Long ass time ago, there was a bunch of people in this land by the Mesopotamian river and all that, but where Israel and Palestine is today. In that land, there was a bunch of different people. The Israelites, who weren't really a people until later, when kings made them into a nation. So Israelites were a part of this group, the Canaanites, the Philistines. All of them inhabited this area. Israel starts saying, hey, we demand this land. It was given to us by God. The other people are obviously against them. Over time, all these groups intertwine. Israel kind of says it, does its own thing. It's like, no, we're not going to intermingle with you guys. Then later on in the 7th century BCE, I believe, that's when the Arabs come in and take over and interbreed as well with this group of pro-Palestinian, pre-Palestinian group of people, which is already a mixed race, and like they become one homogenous group with the Arabs now. So their religion changes to Muslim, their people become one people to get to the Palestinians. So yes, their roots can be traced back down to this land, but they are also traced back down to the Arabs during the 7th century, because apparently they did become a big part of this homogenous, I guess it's not homogenous, heterogeneous group. Heterogeneous? I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. The Israelites came first. The Arabs arrived much later. But yeah, no, okay, this is what I'm trying to get at, and pisses me off that people don't understand this. And this was my theory before I did any research. Because this is a history of the world. It's complicated. But both modern Jews and Palestinians trace heritage to multiple layers of people who lived continuously in the land. It's not a simple first-last equation, since the populations have mixed and transformed for over 3,000 years. There is no, we deserve this land. Also, it's hypocritical as a for any American to say that. Fuck. Okay, so my question then is, what are the claims that the Palestinians are making about the land, and what are the claims that the Israelites are making about the land in question? With that taken out the equation, none of these fuckers have a real righteous claim to this land. Yeah, truly and honestly, I don't think you can argue that at all. It's bullshit. Dude, you're all mutts. I'm a mutt. We're all mixed as especially the Palestinians weren't even Muslim at the beginning. Like, that happened when the Arabs came in and interbreeded with them. Okay, the Palestinian claims. Palestinians argue that they are the descendants of the people who lived continuously in the land for centuries. Canaanite, Hebrews, Arabs weren't there till the 7th century, and others, and thus are the indigenous inhabitants of Palestine. Yeah, the Jews can make the same argument, or Israelites. They emphasize that many families have roots in villages and cities going back hundreds, sometimes over 1,000 years. Great. That doesn't mean Okay. Also, isn't this like an arid region? Why do you want it? Sorry, my brain's hurting, so I'm getting pissed off. And I've spent 17 minutes on this. This was supposed to be a 10-minute video. Okay, so they're right. They never left the land. The difference... Okay, let's just read and then I'll give my thoughts after. Right to self-determination. They claim the land of historic Palestine from Jordan River to the Mediterranean was largely Arab, Muslim, Christian before modern Zionist movement. I don't believe they claim it was Christian. I doubt that. They see the creation of Israel in 1948 as dispossession since 7,500,000 Palestinians were displaced. Okay. That's fair. Yeah, that's pretty up. I'm not denying that at all. Once again, I'm not on the Israelite side. I'm not on the Palestinian side. I think they're all idiots fighting over Holy Land for fuck's sake. Palestinians point to UN Resolution 1947 proposed partition, arguing that the Arab state envision was never realized. Because I think that was like the different video. I'm not going into that right now. Jerusalem, they claim East Jerusalem as the future capital of Palestine. Okay, so yeah, they are arguing this is our land. We've been here this whole time. Fuck off. Israel shouldn't exist. That's their argument. And honestly, valid. Like, who am I to go say, hey, these people used to live here a long time ago. Let me carve out a little nation for them and give it to them. Pretty up. Israel Jewish claims. Ancient historical Jews claim to the biblical homeland, kingdom of Israel, and Judah existed there over 3,000 years ago. Which is my thing. Like, they have the same claims. Jerusalem and Temple Mount are central to Jewish religion and identity. Okay, so the difference is Israelites and Jewish people have not lived there this whole time. They left. The question is, did they get kicked out? Or do they choose to leave? Which I'm very curious about. Once again, I'm a novice. I'm learning as I go. While Jews were dispersed after Roman conquest, Jewish communities never entirely left the land. Once again, we're all mutts. So the Israelites view this, so they were dispersed because of the Roman conquest. But some of them never left. So I'm wrong. Some people stayed in that area. So for them, the Israelites claim like this was our homeland. Some of our people even stayed, but a lot of us left because of the Romans, we're coming back home. This was our land, but we got kicked out first, you know? So they're making the same argument as the Palestinians are today, but for back in the day, from a whole different government. The Balfour Declaration, League of Nations mandate recognizes the Jewish national home, legitimizes the Jewish state, Israel cleans and needs defensible borders. Okay, in short, Palestinians, we are the indigenous people displaced in 1948 and entitled to self-determination in our own homeland, including East Jerusalem. Israelis were returning to our ancient homeland recognized by international law. We need a secure Jewish state for survival. And that's where the interesting part comes in. Like, if your people have a history of oppression going back millennia, and you want a home state, that's fair. The question is, why does it gotta be in Israel? Why not Israel? In the land that is now Palestinian land. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up and leave it there because it's been a long ass video. Okay, long ass time ago, there were a bunch of tribes. From those tribes, we got Israel, who was kind of like, we're our own people. Everyone else, we don't want to mix with you guys. Then later on, they got kicked out due to Roman conquests from this land. Some Jewish people stayed, but not a lot. Then we got the Palestinians, who were once a varied number of people, groups. And then we got the Arabs coming into the 7th century. Then they kind of became a homogenous group that we now recognize as Palestinians. But it's no reference to the Philistines. I kind of thought that for a while. Apparently not. Nothing to do with them. They've been there this entire time. They live in this area. So they're like, why are you trying to kick us out of our home? The f***? And the Israelites are like, we lived there 3,000 years ago. We lived there for a few thousand years. Then the Romans came, kicked us out. Some of our people stayed there, but the vast majority probably just left to other parts of the world. And now they're like, well, we keep on getting oppressed everywhere we go. We kind of just want to go back home, make a nation there. And the US and the UN all helped make that happen. So of course there's conflict there. It just sucks. But yeah, no, both people absolutely hate each other. And they're making the same claims. The only difference is who was there the entire time. But then you could make the argument like the Jewish people wanted to live in that land this entire time. They just got kicked out by the Romans. That's what happened. It's up and it's disgusting, but it's not black and white. Okay? That's my whole point. It's not black and white. Stop believing the propaganda that Palestinians are in any way like righteous people. And to hammer that point home, what are the cultural norms of Palestine when it comes to female autonomy and gay and trans rights? List them and do the same for Israel. And that may have been the reason why the US supported them, because they knew Israel had morals more aligned with the Western culture than Palestine. Maybe that's why they did it. I'm not defending it. I'm saying it kind of makes sense. Am I defending it? I don't know. Whatever. I'm not taking a hard stance on that right now. What we're going to talk about right now is Palestinian territories. Okay. Female Palestinian territory. Oh, this sounds like clickbait. Not clickbait. This sounds like whitewashing. What's the word? I don't care. Palestinian territories. Female autonomy and women. Their women's rights organization, legal reform, counseling, shelter, legal aid. This is for Palestine. NGO like SAWA provides support for women and children facing violence and abuse. Highlight the need for gender responsive policies and protection. International bodies, UN Women, highlight the need for gender responsive policies and protection in Palestine. In other words, they're not getting it. There's an awareness among feminist actors about sexual and reproductive health, though implementation is limited. Don't sugarcoat it. This was bullshit. The answer was bullshit. Just state the facts. Thank you. That was like spin that is just printed. It was bullshit. Sorry, I want to hammer this home for everyone who's pro-Palestine. Blindly pro-Palestine. If you know the history, you know what the fuck you're talking about, and you're still for them, okay, I don't disagree with you. It's pretty f***ed up what's happened. I'm just pissed off at the people who are like, oh, it's black and white. No, it's not. Sorry. Palestinian territories. I love you, man. I love you, whoever the fuck you are. I don't know you. I don't care. My one guiding principle in everything is always intellectual honesty. That's it. I don't give a fuck what side you're on. Just don't try to convince me through tricks. You know? Tell me the facts. Tell me the logic. If I agree with it, I'll change my mind. If I'm wrong, I will change my mind. Do it all the time. I came with this with an open mind. I have biases. I'm aware of them. But obviously this was a tangent. Let's move on. Okay, Palestinian territories, women. Patriarchal culture dominates. High rates of domestic violence, honor killings, and early marriage. Child marriages, motherfuckers. Sorry, just the term early marriage is... oh my god, that makes me mad. Limited legal protection. Survivors often stigmatized. Reproductive and sexual health access is restricted. Autonomy is strongly shaped by family and religious expectations. They are not a Western country in any way, shape, or form. West Bank. Male same-sex religions not criminalized, but no legal protections or recognition. Probably honor killings, to be honest. Gaza, homosexuality. Oh. Gaza, homosexuality criminalized up to 10 years in prison. No legal recognition of trans identities, same-sex couples, or non-binary categories. Open LGBTQ expression is socially dangerous. Widespread homophobia and transphobia. Activist groups exist but face harassment, bans, and threats. That's the Palestine you're fighting for. Do they deserve to die and suffer for having these beliefs? No, for real. I don't know the answer to that one. They're wrong. It is f***ed up beyond belief what they're doing. Do they deserve what they're getting? Like I said, it's not black and white. Acting like it is. Israel, women. Legal frameworks guarantees equality, so legally they're equal. Women serve in military, judiciary, parliament, and professional life. That's great. Well, I'm not saying there's not like discrimination or harassment or bullshit, but the fact that they can do that is great. Gaps remain, wage inequality, gender-based violence. Like I said, yeah, there's bad shit. I'm not pretending like that. Amazing on all fronts. And religious courts restricting divorce, marriage rights. In ultra-Orthodox conservative communities, women face stricter limits on autonomy and public presence. LGBTQ and trans, homosexuality is legal in Israel. Same-sex marriage not performed in Israel, but foreign same-sex marriages are recognized. Same-sex couples can adopt. That shit ain't happening in Palestine. Anti-discrimination protections exist in employment and services. Tel Aviv is a regional LGBTQ hub with large pride events. What the f***? In the Middle East, there are pride events. And it's not in Palestine. Trans people can change gender markers with medical oversight, so they can do trans surgeries. Conservative and religious communities remain hostile. No legal recognition of non-binary identity. Totally cool with that. I don't even know what that means. I don't identify with a gender. Great. You still have a sex. Can we just use that in the meanwhile? Like, that's the point. It's like non-binary identity. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't. Sorry, this complete tangent. Complete tangent. Can we just be weird people instead of putting everyone in a goddamn category? Like, sex is not the most important fact about me, about anybody. If it is, you're a pathetic. Go live a little. Go work out. Go get good at shooting. Go be somebody. Go read. If your sexual orientation and what you do in the bedroom with other people is the most interesting, most defining part of your personality, you have an issue. Love you, but you have an issue. Facts side by side. In Palestine, patriarchal norms dominate. Women's autonomy is weak. Homosexuality is illegal in Gaza, and LGBT expression is unsafe. Those are the facts. In Israel, women have broad legal equality, though religious courts limit aspects of autonomy. LGBTQ people have legal protection and visibility, but conservative communities oppose them, and some rights are incomplete. What does that even mean? Sorry, some rights are incomplete. Okay, this has been a long ass, like 30 minutes long. Okay, we're cutting it there. Take everything else with a grain of sand. This was from ChatGPT. Like I said, don't fully trust these motherfuckers. You shouldn't either. Thank you for your time.